All right. Don't judge me on my energy. I'm overtrained. But this is the story. You're the typical American boy, girl. We'll call it a what the fuck love story. All right. Several people in my life, right this second, that are going through hardship in relationships, right? Every conversation I'm a part of, when talking about all of this stuff, everyone talks about the other, right? So if you're in a conversation with the woman, she'll talk about the guy. If you're in a conversation with the guy, he'll talk about the girl. It's pointless in my opinion. You're it's like it's like trying to plug my phone, trying to plug the wrong charger into my phone and expect the phone to gain any charge, let alone hold a charge, right? It just does not apply. It's pointless to talk about it. And it gets us to a point where we're just spinning our wheels and falling into behavior that are dictated by the emotions that arise in specific scenarios, right? There's so much depth on this. I had one thought process that I just wanted to get out right now, but I always like to start with this. And this is, it can be seen as aggressive, but my opinion, and my opinion has served me, right? When when you're in a scenario like this and you're gaining information, I had a conversation last night and the question was asked, well, which one is right? Like, which one's better? Because if both ideas, if your idea that's in your life present right now and my idea come head to head, which one should prevail? And I would go as far as to say, whichever one is building towards a goal, whichever one is building you up. But it's not affirmative. It's not building you up with words. It's building you up with actions towards a better life. If I want to be the president of the United States, I know, then does the action that I take in the next 20 minutes build towards that goal, towards that dream, or does it tear down? Does it deconstruct? Which one is it? And sometimes, just like universities, fuck you, school, just like universities, there's a better answer. They may both be correct, but there's a better answer. And so everything that I say is based off of my opinion. Like I said, right now you may look at me and be like, I don't want to be like that guy. Once again, I'm overtrained. I take it a little too far in the fitness realm sometimes. And I did something called an impossible mile on Saturday. And the person that this is for did it with me, but we're not going to name drop. This is for the world. And I hope it serves you. But I'm destroyed from it. I'm absolutely obliterated. So I have chicken, slow cooking on the stove while I make this. Anyways, my opinion and my belief system has very, very, very well served me in my life. I'm not the wealthiest person in the world, but that's not my measure of success. My measure of success is, am I setting a goal for this life that I want to live? Am I setting a goal for the person I want to be? And am I becoming that person? Are the actions that I take in my day, is the character that I press out to the world, the actions or the character that I would choose to take or to become? And the answer for me is absolutely. And this is where I started, right? I am a strong believer in grace. Us rascal humans, we take it a little too far. We We trade grace. Well, we bring grace to the door, but the grace is a disguise. What we're really bringing to the door is a random dog pissing in the yard. This guy always gets out. What we're really bringing to the door, a little foggy, so I'm not going to bring a word to it, but it's just letting ourselves off the hook, right? Are we letting ourselves off the hook and then saying, well, I'm just showing myself grace? Or are we showing ourselves grace in the face of defeat when we really didn't have control over the circumstances, but we adapt and we adopt a new belief system or a new process that gets us through this adversity? You matter. You matter, you matter, you matter 100%. I've never met an individual in my entire life that I didn't see bits and pieces of myself in. And so everyone I've ever met, I love them because I see me. And I mean, I don't really care how you cut that. You can call it selfish, you can call it selfless. It doesn't matter. I love you. And I believe in you. And you are massive in this world. You do matter. With that said, you are unique, but the caveat is we are all unique. All of us. Very, very much so. And so that brings you to the point where you're not special at all. You're not. I'm sorry. You're not special by default. You matter. You're unique. Your perception of the world, your perspective on things, your life lived is extremely unique. But if all of us have that same preset, that default, then you're just average. And that's all right, because most people stay average. But where do we go from there? I always say that you're not special and you're beautifully unique and you do matter. And the world would be devastated if you're not around. And this is not a suicide thing, but the world would be devastated if you were gone. There will be people that will miss you, and they may not be the people that you know of now, but people that you could serve in the future. You are fully capable. And I am a strong, strong believer that we are limited by our imagination. And it's not floofy. It's not wish things to come to be. No, not at all. But if you can dream it up, I believe it's been put up there for a reason, and you can go after it. And you can put actionable steps to become it, to build it, to be it. Fully, fully capable. And most of us never step into any type of potential. We fall in line because the truth is this: most people want to follow, but they don't want to be told what to do. So that's why everything in the system builds a world where it's easy to follow, but to think that you decided. You can get as conspiratorial as you want. I'm just take the reins of your life. That is what I believe. I believe you can set the sail. You do not have to wish for a better wind, because wishing for a better wind does not work. Same everything happens to all of us. When it's more individualized, the hurt, the luxurious problems, heartbreak, we're so privileged, and I love being here, but we are. Even when we go through the worst of the worst, we have resources to learn from it, to get out of it, to become better from it. Whether we decide to pick up those resources or not, seek them out or not, we have luxurious problems here, and there's worse off areas. Yes, I understand. But we're in America, and your problems are luxurious, my friend. You probably have air conditioning on right now. It's all I'm trying to get someone to see when they look at this is that you are magnificent, magnificently capable. You have the potential to do anything with your life and become anything that you could ever desire if you desire. I believe in you, and I do have love for you, and you do matter, but you're just one of us. So you step into this world with humility because you are one of the humans among us. And you have the capabilities to become as great of a human as you'd like to be. And that's 10 minutes of a long-winded introduction. Jesus, here we go. I go over this because when we go out there and we have these relationship issues, all we ever try to do is look at the other. And then all a therapist tries to do is bring you back to your childhood. And while I believe the childhood is massive, I was going to say 3 words at once there. That's why a stroke happened. I was going to say magnificent, marvelous, and massive. I haven't used the word marvelous in my whole life. There it is. Anyways, there is something to be looked at in your childhood and re-engineer it and remap it and rewrite your narratives of your life. Yes, but there's also what I like to do is come from a place of curiosity and bring in the room understanding. Why are you doing these things? And so many people want to think that they're so special that they could never do anything deceitful or malevolent, negative. They could never be the villain. So then it's just always displacing blame on the villain in their life because we all want to be the hero and we think we are. And there's many times where we are not. And especially when it comes to our success, we are the biggest villain in our own lives. Always. Always. Because nobody else can control you. We're fairly free here in America, fortunately, at this point. One narrative that I think comes out a lot for me that I see. This is something I lived, and this is kind of the main point with a massive introduction. Why do you stay loving her? Why do you stay loving him? They treat you like dirt. You're getting pushed into the ground. You're getting walked all over. They're cheating on you. They might even be hitting you. Why would you? You're just such a good person. You're too kind. You're too caring. You just got to become hard. You can't let people do that to you. No, I'm a strong believer because I lived it. Where when my wife left in 2019, a rascal, I was the guy that said, I will never love another woman. You're the love of my life, and I chose you for the rest of my life. And as far as that goes, I was a damn good one. I wouldn't even look another woman's way. It's just like, why would I entertain my eyes when I have the most beautiful, most incredible, my best friend waiting for me at the end of the day, or I'm waiting for her? Like, why would I ever even entertain? So as far as that goes, I was sitting there and I'm like, I will love her till the end of my days, no matter what. No matter what. And what I realized for me is I never really felt like I had control of many things in my life. I always was the agreeable, nice guy that kind of got walked all over. My friends would even throw shade at me all the time because it was easy. And I would go to a point where I'd make myself the butt of the jokes. Oh, I'm right. It's like I don't even have the thoughts anymore because I've just completely ran from like emotionally dismantling myself on a daily basis. But it's just like if someone had asked me in the past, like, what do you love about yourself? What's your greatest skill? What do you like about you? I'd be like, I don't fucking know. I can suffer. I love pain. Like, and then a lot of times I would say something of the sort where it's like, well, I mean, I can love like better than anyone. I would love you way more than you'd ever love me. And where does that come from? Where does that come from? I will love you no matter what. Even if you don't love me, I will love you better. There's a song, it's called Shooting Star or Shooting Stars, but I think it's Rival Sons. And I used to listen to it when my wife left. I listened to it over and over and over and over again. I would run and it's like, my love is greater than yours. And I'm just like building this person that thinks that they just love better. And for me, where I boiled it down, where I think it comes from, was a place of ego, was a place of control, was a place of fear. I couldn't control anything. I didn't feel like I could dictate anything in my life. So what would I do? Well, you can't take away how much I love you. It's impossible. I'll just love you more. I'll love you to the end. And it was never my ex-wife, like I did love the person she was. I thought she hung the moon. But the amount of love in my lifetime that I gave people far outweighed them giving me a reason to give them that love. It was just me blasting them because it was prideful. I was going to love you better because I had control of it. You couldn't take away how much I loved you. And there's no way you'd love me more. No way. And everyone just says, you're so passionate. You're just such a good lover. You're such a good guy. You're such a good girl. But it's just, ask yourself, please, where is that coming from? Is it because I'm such a good person? Maybe you are a great person. I genuinely believe I'm a fantastic individual. But for me, as great as I think I am, and I give myself evidence to believe that I am, my love that I gave, especially to my ex-wife, and the reason why I held on for 2.5 years of saying, "Oh, I'm never going to date again," it was her. It was pride, and it was fear of losing the control of loving that person more than they could love me. It was the only thing I had control of. And what I realized was it was so much easier to let go of those reins and to just let that be what it was and have that relationship be. While I was with her, those were some of the best years of my life. I felt genuinely loved, and I feel as though I gave tons of love. Afterwards was devastating. But at this point, in a few years prior, it's been what, over 5 years? The last couple years, and as of now, I could not imagine that woman walking into my life and me even going on a second or third date. It's not that I love her and want her in my life, but I love the time that we had together. I cherish it, and it was a massive part of my life. And it was huge for me when it was huge for me. And I can still tap into the emotions and feel it because it was real. And I lived it. And I believe in integrating that, but first, you must let go of the reins of being that prideful, fearful of not having control of everything in your life lover. And what I did, what do you do, Dill? I drew this out. Like, it's been a long road alone. A road that I very much encourage because most people don't even spend an hour alone, especially in silence. Who are you? That's a whole nother talk. But you can let go of these reins by grabbing the reins of your life. It sounds so obvious. And there's books written that throw shade at it because it is so obvious. The most successful people in the world let go of the circumstances that are outside of their control. And they take hold of them, of their lives, of the person they want to be. They design, oh, these are my heroes. Why are they my heroes? These are the characteristics. These are the skills. These are the traits. Okay, these are the traits I want to aim for. Ooh, I want to add this because I think I have this already. Ooh, I want to add that. I want to take that out. You literally design and build a person to then take aim at. And then if you take aim at becoming an individual, when you step into the world, when the roller coaster of emotion starts to dictate the behavior, your behavior now is completely different because you as an individual have transformed. They say people don't change. They can go fuck themselves. I genuinely can tell you, you have all of the ability in the world to do whatever you want with yourself, to become whatever you want. It's all on you, and it's only you versus you, and the only person that's ever in your way is you. Always. Period. I don't really have space to entertain another idea there because I lived an entire life, 27, 28 years of just the world out there. Like, what am I supposed? I'm overwhelmed because it's just not fair. The wind always blows the wrong way on my life. Everything just seems like it's just not fair. Like, I couldn't control that. What are the chances? This isn't, God, why does this stuff always happen to me? And then it's just a shift. You just put life in a different frame, and it's simply said. It is much tougher, but it is simple. Nothing is really easy. I believe it can get easy because you become the person that does all of this stuff as a default. So therefore it is easy. I also believe it's easy if you can do it. So, but it is very, very simple. You take aim at the individual you want to be, and then you grab hold of those reins and you go unrelenting in the direction of the person you would like to become. And if you focus, if you build towards that person, if you catch yourself with awareness in the world around you, not being that person, if you see yourself doing things that person wouldn't do, and you have the awareness and the self-esteem, the self-respect, the control, you take responsibility for your life and you do the things that more correlate towards the person you'd like to be instead of the person you've been or the person you clearly don't want to be. You've all of a sudden taken steps in a direction. And those reins of that relationship of loving someone because you love better. I can almost say with certainty, I would very much believe that you are holding those reins tight because you fear that you have control of nothing. That you are just a victim in this world, but you can love someone. And I'll tell you this, if you grab reins of the person you want to be and you go, you'll eventually drop the reins of controlling because you have control of the most important thing in this world for you, and that is you. And for me, it is me. And you become this massive piece of leverage in the world to serve or to do whatever you want. But I can tell you, you'll get to a point where you just want to serve. The cup runneth over. And when you do that, that is love. That is love. Love is ever expanding. Love is constructive. Love builds. Love does not tear down. Love does not degrade. Even if it's you, if you sit there and you think that you're loving them so hard, but it's killing you, but it's okay because you love them. No, it is destructive. It is deconstructing you, your life, your heart, your everything. It is not love. That is fear. It's fear of loss. It's fear of loss of control. It is fear of spiraling into a position that you couldn't imagine you'd be in. Grab reins of the individual you want to be. Go on. Go. Get out of here. Go. Go get out of here.